Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the youth anglers that's tuning in. Welcome back. Just seems like just a few weeks ago, couple months back, we was sitting in this seat doing these interviews with our hooked up lives. So we have got a great show lined up for tonight. We'd like to start off first by mentioning that of our sponsors you've seen in the clip just a moment ago. Taming Serum and Star Lures, owned by the same individual. Get over there, check out their Facebook pages. They have Taming Serum does some amazing products for line conditioning, scents and oils for your soft plastics and your lures. Star Lures, they've got all sorts of soft plastics, and I believe he's also making hard baits as well. Any type of mold you got on your mind, if he don't have it, he'll be more than glad to take a look at it and find it for you. So colors as well, which we'll do another video about in the future. G2 Gemini jerseys. So you've seen in the beginning of this show as it started up, if you want 25% off any order, all you have to do is get on their website, submit your order in, G2 Georgia spelled out 22, and you'll receive 25% off any order. Dugout Bait and Tackle, we appreciate their support. If you haven't been down there and seen all of them down there at the dugout, they have got wall-to-wall bait and tackle, as well as in the back here, they got some bait tanks, any type of live bait you want, as well as kayaks too. It impresses me when I went down there the last time and seen all the kayaks and the way they outfit them now. It is unbelievable. So get down there and check out the dugout. And TB Nation Outdoors. The code that was in the beginning screen, 5% off any order. So if you go to tbnation.net, you can take, and they have all sorts of items. If you haven't got over and check them out, tbnation.net, 5% off any order that you go through from their website. So we appreciate their support and sponsorship. And last but not least, Underground Power. This is our lithium battery sponsor for our Hooked Up Live, as well as to the TEC event as well. We have welcomed them into the TEC. They're going to be providing a lithium battery, which I'll explain a little bit later into the show. So let's get this show started and bring in the points champions for Southern Outcast, Jason and Brandi Brown. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello.
So y'all in Christmas mode already?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
We're trying to be.
So I want to take a moment, and all the shows before in the past, I try to get a set questions of different things to ask, but I'd like to keep this fresh of Q&A. If anybody has any questions they'd like to put y'all in the hot seat and ask, I will make sure to go through the feed and put them up there and ask away. So drop us a comment, and we'll be making sure to keep an eye on that throughout the duration of the show. So y'all are points champion. Tell me, how close was y'all run away in points, or was y'all pretty close? Do you remember?
We did okay.
Did okay.
I don't know what the margin was, but we had a good year.
Did y'all have big fish for the year too?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'll guess. I don't really know. I think our biggest fish was 6 pounds something. I don't know if anybody beat that or not. I don't know. I'd have to ask Josh. He keeps up with that.
So tell me about, maybe for y'all's season, what was y'all's most highlight moment of being in the boat with your better half? Jason definitely means a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's kind of stressful a little bit because I don't know. I guess you always want to impress. I don't know if you want to impress, but you want to do good. It's kind of more pressure. I felt more pressure fishing with her, I'd say. But I don't know our highlight. I guess her highlight would definitely be our last tournament, where I think we weighed in 21 pounds or something, and she caught, I think,
All of them but one.
4 of the 5 fish. So she spanked everybody and spanked me that day. So,
Was
I
it a
surprised myself.
I know that was the highlight of her season.
Yeah,
So
that was my best day I've ever had in my life. I don't know how that happened, but it all like came together and it worked out. It was my personal best. And I know the guys that was on in Southern Outcast, they were very, very nice to me all year. And all year they knew I was just barely, giving him scraps. He was catching the big fish and I was just filling in. But that last tournament was, it just all worked out, I guess, in the end. So, which was good.
yeah, she did really good. Really good.
I'm still learning.
She did good all year though. She's a little bit modest. She pulled her weight all year. She
So
did good.
Brandy, I got to ask,
Yes, sir.
you throw bait caster and spin cast, or
At
No.
the beginning of the year, I did just spin rod, but I threw a bait caster some. I mean, not a whole lot, but I'm learning. I'm still in the learning phase with some of this stuff. Couple of times.
She's a spinning rod gal most of the time.
Most of the time I am.
so I think we've talked about this in the past shows. Excuse me, I ate supper right beforehand. So indigestion a little bit. You're a bed fisherman, right, Jason?
If it calls for it, I will. I don't try to categorize myself. I try to fish for any and all situations. I don't. I wouldn't classify myself as a bed fisherman because it's. I don't know. For us, that's a. I don't know. That's a very small part of our season. So
It is.
I mean, if the time is right, I like it. Yes.
So what about you, Brandy? Have you been with them sight fishing when they're on bed, locked on?
Yes, I don't do a whole lot of bed fishing. I've tried. I get frustrated a little bit with bed fishing. I'm not gonna lie. I've caught some on the bed, but it's not. Sometimes it's more by accident, just to be honest, than it is not. But I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember a tournament this year where we
Yeah.
actually target bedded bass. I don't.
Yeah. And I mainly fish out of the back of the boat. Jason usually fishes out of the front. We can't get along in the front of the boat together, so it don't work out that way.
So
We
Josh,
can get along. I'm
Josh
just
looked
afraid
up.
of hooks flying by my face.
So Josh wound up making a comment. Appreciate this, Josh. Y'all was 592 in points for the year, and I'm assuming on down the line 543, 534, 490 was on down the line.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
y'all,
sir.
very impressive year, definitely.
We was lucky
Yes.
quite
Yes.
a few times. We were very lucky.
We either won really big or we lost really big. It was never in between.
Yeah, that's true. We either won or we sucked.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But we had a good time this year doing it together. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't think that we would last the whole season, to be honest. Fishing together, but we did. We got along very well.
Oh my goodness. I keep thinking back to a tournament with my wife. We fished at Latham, a pot tournament years ago, and it goes down in the memory books of probably one of the most fun memories I've ever had on the water. Was just, we didn't catch no giants, but just, I was sitting there freezing, ready to go home, and she was enjoying it and wearing me out left and right.
I can tell you a good story if you want to hear it.
We got plenty of time.
It was not this year, but how many years ago when you fell out of the boat?
I think it may have been 2 years.
2 years.
I don't know. Josh remembers it. He remembers it well. I guess.
She had fished. This year was the first year she had been like a full-time partner. So she had fished a few tournaments with me in previous years. So we were fishing at Bear Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what the temperature was, but when we started out that morning, I had my deer hunting bibs on. I mean, it was cold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was early. It was probably February. I don't know.
No, it was February.
February or so. You know, it was still cold. Water was still cold. And no, it was more. I don't think Bear Creek doesn't open until March. I don't. Anyway, it was cold.
It was cold.
And so we had caught a couple of fish, and I think I was throwing a lipless crankbait, and I threw up toward the bank and I caught one, and I said, get the net. And I'm not looking. I'm standing in the front of the boat and I'm fighting my fish. I'm like, get the net, and I hear, bam, ploosh. And I turn around and she's out in the lake. She fell out in the lake. And I said, I don't know what I said. I said, what are you doing? Or something like that.
Yes, you asked me what I was doing. I told you I was taking a dip in the water.
And then so I guess instead of doing the right thing, I'm like, I'll help you in a minute. Let me finish fighting my fish. So I went ahead and got the fish in the boat, and then I just kind of trolled. We was close to the bank, so I just trolling motored over to the bank, and she held on to the boat, and she walked up and got in the boat. Of course, I said, if you want to leave, we'll leave, because I knew it was cold. I mean, it was cold, but she is a trooper, and she's a tough lady, and she said, no, we'll stay. And I was like, I'm just going to tell you right now, if it was me, we would be going to the house because it's cold. So at that time, the sun had started coming up and it had started warming up. So I took off we pulled back in the cove, and I took off my insulated overalls, and she put on my dry overalls and my coat, and we kind of hung her clothes up to dry, and I think we finished second in that tournament.
Yeah.
Almost won it. So she stuck in there all day, and we did good. So I was proud of her, but I don't know that I would have done it. So I don't know. It was pretty funny. But,
so I want to ask, obviously you can swim, right, Brandi?
Yes, sir. But it took my breath away. I'm not going to lie.
It was cold. I'm telling you. If it would have been me, I would have been like, let's go.
And there's no cove to have privacy there. So it was, I hate to know what those people in the houses looked at when I was changing, because I didn't care. It was cold. I was getting the clothes off.
It did warm up that day.
But it did.
Dried out.
Yeah. We were fine. But I was freezing. I'm not going to lie.
She's tough.
Well, thank you.
I have seen that one time where it was early, like March. I think it was right whenever Hicker Log first opened up, and the guy fell in at blast off. Literally, he had first stop, and they drove back to the boat ramp and went straight to Walmart and bought some new clothes and then come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, folks, just to remind everybody, make sure you drop us a comment, questions you want to ask. I'm sure y'all will be more than glad to answer it.
Yeah.
Jason, I know you've told me in the past, I mean, I don't think it's really too much of a secret as far as your favorite bait, not necessarily a name brand or anything like that, but just an all-time favorite.
Jig?
I think I remember you saying on the live. I just want to make sure. So,
yeah, I would say
Brandi, not to give away any specific baits, Jason's going to give you the eyeball and be like, no, don't tell him. So what's your all-time?
3 baits.
I just throw 3 baits. That's all.
All the time.
All the time.
If you had one bait to choose to catch fish on, what would it be?
Shaky head.
Shaky head. That's
No
right.
doubt. That would be.
She throws a Cinco a wacky Cinco, a shaky head, and a fluke. That's the only 3 baits she ever throws.
Well, I have gotten out of my comfort zone, and I did do a spinner bait, but I never caught one on a spinner bait. And I have done a jerk bait, and I did catch one on a jerk bait. Now I'm still learning. I don't know a whole lot about. I don't like jerk baits. I hate jerk baits. I can't fish them right. I feel like I'm slinging. I don't think I sling it right. But I keep asking Jason when I'm doing it. I'm like, am I doing it right? Because I just don't feel like I'm doing it right.
So have you started trying to throw Ned rigs?
Yeah, she's thrown a Ned rig before.
Yeah.
She classifies that in with a shaky head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've done those before.
Yeah.
Ned rigs are good. Just everything's brutal conditions. Just pick that thing up and it'll put you a limit in a boat for sure.
Yeah, she caught a 6-pounder at Bear Creek that last tournament on a giant Ned rig on the big one, the big TRD.
Yeah.
And
old Donnie Boone, I don't know if y'all know him, President High Voltage. I'll put him out there. Donnie is a shaky head fanatic, so he's definitely adding it in there. Can't beat a shaky head. So
I think I've caught more fish on a shaky head than I have anything.
She's good with a shaky head because she's a lot more patient than I am. I kind of need to be moving something.
He's a fast going.
And she can just, I don't know, she's a lot more patient, and she can just, when it needs to be just drug real slow, she can do that. And I just can't do it. When it comes to fishing real slow, even when I fish a jig, it's kind of a little bit faster. But she probably catches a lot more fish on a shaky head than I would, just because I feel like I have to do too much with it, but she doesn't. She lets it work itself.
How many times during this past season, Jason, because obviously it sounds like Brandi's laid it on pretty thick to you this year for catching fish. But how many times, all joking aside, how many times have you sat there and just thought, because I'm the same way. I'm a power fisherman. I will literally a finesse bait of some kind and just hop that thing and just cover ground as much as possible. Y'all good?
I'm just turning your volume up a little bit.
Okay.
That's the battery. I got your glasses on. Let me try.
I'm gonna let her run the computer.
If you need me to pause, if it's still good.
No, you're fine.
Good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ask me again.
I'll just make sure the batteries wasn't dying. So
no, we're good.
How many times have you literally sat there and was just like, you're watching her catch fish and you know you need to slow down, but you just won't? How many times have you looked back this past season and been like, all right, that's it, I'm slowing down?
Oh, I don't.
He don't.
Well, I should have slowed down. I've looked a lot of times and said I should have slowed down, but I don't. I just can't do it. I'm impatient. I cannot do it. And if it comes to catching fish that I have to slow down, I need a partner like her, because I'm not going to win, If it comes to fishing really slow, I can do it for 5 minutes and then I'm done. I got to go do something else. So if it comes to, he's not slowing down either.
So how many times, Brandi, have you, and I'm asking this because my wife she said this many, many times when she's in the boat with me. How many times have you had to look at him and say, slow down for me?
I don't. I just avoid the conflict and do whatever he tells me to.
She does not.
Sometimes I'm like, let's just wait and see if something's there, or let's just wait, and see.
I fish
But
you see a lot of people, they'll start on this bank and they'll fish this whole bank. But I'll fish this spot and then I'll go to this spot and then I'll see something across the lake and I'll go to that spot. Now there's times if I know there's fish there, I'll sit there for as long as I think it takes. But for the majority of the time, I'm not that guy. But she would fish if I fish 10 spots in a day, she would fish 2 spots in a day. That's just, but sometimes her way's better and sometimes my way's better.
Yeah.
And we worked together a lot better than I thought we would, but it was pretty enjoyable. I mean, I had a good time fishing with her this year. We had a good time.
I think one time we got mad at each other, but
yeah, there's a few moments where we didn't speak to each other for a little while in the boat.
I rammed the boat into the boat dock.
Yeah, she broke my trolling motor. So.
I got mad at him and rammed the boat into the boat dock and told him to get out. That was the only time I really got mad at him.
Well,
I think Josh thought I was going to quit after that. He asked me if I was going to, and I said no. I just needed a moment.
That's kind of. She's always scared. That's when we're loading the boat at the end of the tournament. She's always scared to get in someone's way or scared to go to the dock, afraid somebody else is wanting to get in front of her. And I'm like, just go, man. Don't worry about it. I said, they'll get out of your way. Just let's go. Go on. And she's like putting along. So she gets mad at me. And then we're like almost to the dock. And then she like floors it.
Well, I got mad. I got mad at you.
And I'm like, you just broke my trolling motor mount off the boat. So,
it's a good way to get an upgrade on a trolling motor, right?
Yeah, I did. After that, I did get
He did. It was my fault. I did get mad. And I did break it, but it was.
Yeah.
It happened.
It's okay.
But that's the only time we got mad. But that was a bad day. We got hung. I mean, it was all day long. We got hung on everything. It was awful. I don't even think we had a rod in the boat that had a lure on it. Seriously, like all of the rods were gone. Like, yeah, the baits, not the lures. I'm sorry. The lures were gone.
We did lose some rods this year too.
Yes, we did lose some rods this year as well.
Yeah.
Fell in the lake?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we lost 2 at Varner. We fished at Varner.
Yeah.
And we lost 2 at that lake.
And they were mine. All of them were my spinning rods. It was so sad.
So go ahead and tell us what name brands were they? So if anybody's watching that has come across it, maybe they could return it. Do you remember?
One of them's a Skeet Reese rod and one of them was a Dugout. So yeah, I remember. She don't remember, but I remember.
Well, it wasn't my fault that
No,
they
it
fell
wasn't
out.
her fault, but I remember when they go overboard.
Yeah. I remember seeing the yellow go down.
That was the Skeet Reese.
That was the Skeet Reese rod. It was kind of tragic because you could kind of see it go down to its death. Sad.
That was a bad tournament.
And I like that rod. Yeah, it was a bad
We
tournament.
stunk it up.
I think we stunk that one up pretty bad.
I don't think we had a limit there. No, we didn't.
No.
So
That was one of the ones that we lost really big.
So let's go through y'all's boat setup. While you're talking about your boat setup, folks, feel free, ask questions. Hadn't really had any questions come through, so make sure we're not going to drag us out longer than it's, if we stay on an hour, we stay on an hour. But if you don't mind, just go through, tell us about your boat setup and everything.
Well, my boat, it's a bass tracker, tournament TX 17 foot long, and it's deck front to back. I totally tore out everything. I bought it from a guy, and the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy I bought it from, he was going to do a electric only tournament boat with it. So he had done tore the console and everything out of it, and then decided he wanted to sell it. So I bought it, and then I decked it. The original deck was aluminum in the back, so I left it, the live well and the hatches in the back, and the with the motor and all, where I store my batteries, back storage compartment. I left all that original. And then from it to the front, I redecked, and I decked it with plywood, and I put rod lockers in it, and then some other hatches for storage, tackle, battery storage and stuff. And then as far as power in my boat, I have 2 5.0 has wings on the back, and then in the front I have a Minn Kota, I think it's a 45-pound thrust. And then for for a fish finder, I have a Garmin live scope, and then I have a Helix Hummingbird, which I just mostly use it for maps now since I have the Garmin. And that's pretty much it, right?
That's fine.
Yeah, I told you about the Haswings on the back.
Yeah, that Garmin's junk, ain't it?
Yeah, nobody else should get one. I would recommend nobody else, especially people I fish against, do not get one.
Just discontinue them, huh?
Yeah, get a papergraph or something like that. Stick with a papergraph. It's a lot better.
So I wanted to ask on the Haswings, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Do you have spare parts for it? Like, do you have extra props and stuff? Have you bought some just to have?
No, that's the only problem I have with the Haswing is you cannot find parts for it.
Yeah.
And
so
I have two now, and I also have a 2.0, I think, a 2.0 Haswing, and I got parts from. I can't remember if it was Josh. Somebody gave me one of their old spare ones, and I worked on it, and it actually runs now, but I don't use it. Sometimes I have put it on in the middle of my two 5.0 Haswings, but it only gives you I can run about 6 mile an hour if I put it on, and I can run about 5.7 or so with just the two 5.0. So as far as just battery usage, and battery weight and storage, I don't usually run it. I just leave it off. So it's just laying in my basement right now.
I mean, it won't stay in my ear.
So Donnie made a comment that I thought was good to go back to, the losing the rod, about falling in the lake, stuff like that.
Yep.
Using the cushions, which I'm assuming it's those, foam type deal that goes around the rods. That way it actually stays afloat.
Yeah. Yeah. My problem is I use too many rods. I can help. My decks and my boats.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Rods. There'll be rods laying everywhere. And I know if I use cushions, they would probably float. But
so how many rods do you have on a given day for a tournament?
You don't want to know.
If it's in my boat and it's me and her, probably, I don't know, 25 bait casters, maybe. Is that many?
I don't know.
I hadn't counted them, but it's a lot. And then I know I only have I usually take, if it's me and her, I'll take probably 6 to 8 spinning rods, because I'll
Sorry,
that's all she uses is spinning rods. So and sometimes I want to use a spinning rod, and whatever bait I want to use, she'll be using it, or a lot of times she'll just be catching them on something, and I want to use it because she's catching them on it, I guess. So I take a lot more spinning rods than what I would usually use, and then I guess I have 15 to 20 bait casters in my box at all times. So, but not like when I do fish with Aaron, I try to take, I'll start out at 7 rods, and then I'll end up with 10 or 12. So, but he's used to it. So I don't know. I have a bunch of rods.
It's just you get in that mindset when you're fishing, and let's change to this, let's change to that, and then it just gets to.
Yeah, I don't care to change at the drop of a hat. I don't care. I'll change. I don't know. I'm just like that. I just like a lot of rods. I like a lot of options.
Tournament, the very first tournament that we were in, it was really hard to. I mean, I think everybody had, when at weigh-in, said that they tried everything in their boat. I mean, it was a rough day. it was cold, and they weren't biting anything really. And he'd try something else, and the whole deck was littered literally with everything because he tried everything. But
Yeah,
it was
tough.
Yeah, it was a tough fishing day. I think it was the very first fishing tournament that we started with, if I'm not mistaken. That was the
Nobody
worst
weighed
one.
in more than 2 fish.
Yeah, I think so. I told Jason when I said, I hope everybody had a crappy day like we did.
So let's hear it. What is y'all's least favorite lake to fish? Like
Sandy Creek.
That was a quick answer.
Is it mutual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate Sandy Creek.
Why do you dislike it so much?
I just don't ever
Small.
do good. I don't do good there.
Well, we don't do good, but it just feels like compared to other lakes that we fish, it just feels like everybody's on top of one another. Like you can't spread out. Like everybody's fishing on top of one another if you have a lot of boats in the water and everybody's trying to get into that one spot. But
so I've never been to Sandy. I've never been to Sandy. Is it the same size roughly as like Yahulah?
No, it's big. It's probably 200 acres, but it's just real long and narrow. And you do get on top of each other, but
that's what I didn't like.
A lot of times you catch a lot of fish, but there's a lot of small fish. And I don't know. I don't like it, but I guess one reason I don't like it is because Josh said it's 260 acres. And one reason I don't like it is because Josh has it figured out really well. And most of the time when you go there, you know he's going to win. So that's why I guess that's one reason I don't like to lose. So I don't stand much of a chance there. So just to be honest, I don't.
And I guess my comment, I guess I should go backwards. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind fishing around people, but that's not it. But I don't know. I don't want to be rude, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't want to be throwing my rod and then, them say, you shouldn't do that, which they never did, but I just don't want to be rude. And I guess in the long run, I want to give everybody their space, and it's kind of hard to do that there at that lake. I think is not.
I think everybody knows that. Like at a place like that, I mean, you fish lakes like that, everybody knows everybody's on top of each other. It's the same way at Yahulah. So
Mr. McAttack, he had he makes
some good. He makes some great shaky heads.
He does.
Some great jig heads. So
he does.
Yeah. So he's helped my wife win some money.
Thank you.
That's right. I've heard that from not only you, but a lot of other anglers saying the same thing about it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So let's take a moment and pause, and I'm gonna explain about our lithium battery sponsorship through Underground Power. So what we are going to do is we're going to take and be giving away a lithium battery from Underground Power, 12 volt. I believe if I remember right, it was going to be a 50 amp hour lithium battery. So get over there and check them out. If you haven't got on their Facebook page, check them out. But the way we're going to do it is we're actually going to take and draw. Sorry, I'm going to mute you for a second. So if y'all start talking, just kind of give me emotion. But the way we're going to do it, we're going to draw after the conclusion of all of our hooked up lives. So being that this is such a large item, I didn't want to take and just, set it in the beginning. I want to take and set it for the duration of all these shows. But the way we're going to do it is I want you to get on here and type in Underground Power. but not on Facebook. And it's not starting tonight. After this live show ends, starting tomorrow, go to our YouTube channel on this video feed and type in hashtag underground power. Or if you just want to type in hashtag UP for abbreviation of it. Either one's fine. Just get on there, like the video, and leave that comment, and you will be entered in for a drawing after the conclusion of our 9 interviews. Somebody's going to be receiving a free lithium battery. So we appreciate Underground Power. All right. So let's get back to stuff. Daniel Nikolai, congratulations to you on the series. This.
Thank you.
So Mac didn't know that. I'm sure he didn't, right?
Yeah.
Everybody probably calling all the time. I need some more heads.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. She also says I'm gonna have to make her some because she uses them. That's right.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe she can get her own signature bait.
Hey.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a brown color.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Maybe real dark.
The BB brown.
BB brown.
BB brown.
It's got a nice ring to it.
It does. Josh said he's asking about, can we enter after each video? So yes, as far as the lithium battery, the way we're going to do it, starting tomorrow, for each one of the videos, you'll be entered in cumulatively for a drawing for the lithium battery for Underground Power. So you'll have till Friday's the deadline of this week. So make sure after this concludes, go to the YouTube channel, comment on it. And the reason why I'm doing it like that, because if we'd done it through Facebook, some folks will be on YouTube. And if we do on live chat through with YouTube, the feed disappears for comments and stuff. So that's why I want to make sure it's after the fact. So Aaron wanted to make sure to say congratulations, champs.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Here we go. I didn't think about this.
I don't do pink. I'm sorry.
Don't do
I'm
pink.
not a pink girl. But thank you.
You're purple? You're purple?
No. I'm a yellow. I like yellow.
Not in shaky heads.
But not in shaky. No, not in shaky heads. Green would be my preference, but.
So I have to ask, do you throw crankbaits much? Have you?
Crankbait?
Crankbaits.
Yeah, I throw crankbait.
A few times.
Yeah. I don't like them because they're fast. I don't. And that's, I mean, just to be honest, I'll just change it up. Like if I don't want to do slow fishing for a little bit, I'll do a crankbait, and then I'll go back to more than likely a shaky head or something that you have to just fish slow with. But and the problem with fishing slow and then having somebody that fishes fast, I'm just barely fishing an area, and then Jason's done. He's like, I'm gone. And I'm like, I just threw it twice, like literally. So I'm having to reel in. That I do get frustrated sometimes with that, just to be honest. But that's okay. I mean, that's just, you get over it really quickly and you move on. It's okay. But I could have gotten a 7-pounder in that spot. So, you know, that we just left.
You could not have also.
I could not have also. So
We could have wasted all day trying to catch it. We wouldn't have caught
that's true.
it.
So Mac was talking about shaky heads. The way to go is black, brown, or black.
Exactly.
Green pumpkin
black. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Josh was saying, favorite lake that we fish to use the live scope to its fullest potential.
I just happen to know he just got live scopes.
I think he's just trying to find where you're going to I think he's trying to find out where you're going to be at a lot so he can go out there and follow you around.
Yeah, all of them. Every lake you fish. Well, let's just say none of them. You don't need a live scope, man. No, for real, I'd say every lake you fish, live scope will help you. It'll help you. It also can hurt you. It'll make you mad. It'll frustrate you because you will see fish that it'll show you fish you don't have no idea how many fish you don't catch, you know. It can hinder you too. Or you'll see fish and you'll spend all your time trying to catch those fish that they're not going to bite. I don't care what you throw down there, but you'll see them and you keep trying to catch them. So, I mean, it helps you on every lake, but it can also, if you let it, it can hurt you on every lake. I mean, it's like, you hear people talk about all the time about certain baits and certain techniques at times of years, they're tools, and that's just another tool. I mean, it can help you or it can hurt you.
So Josh is obviously, I think, wanting you to expand a little bit more about, is it more conducive to some lakes over others, like with the depth and et cetera?
It doesn't matter.
So, okay, this may be kind of my thought process. Okay, we're fishing the state championship coming up April of next year. It's going to be on Juliet.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that lake, but I would assume end of April there's going to be some bedding fish somewhere around that lake. So, sounds like you got them fish in that cage back there.
That's my daughter is playing with the dog over here beside of me.
So, as far as bedding fish goes, live scope's really probably not going to be that strong of a contender during that event. Wouldn't you agree?
I wouldn't think so, but I did watch a guy on YouTube catch a fish off a bed using live scope, looking at the fish. I'm not that good with it, so no, not for me. But as far as depths of lakes, I don't think it matters. I mean, it's good shallow water or deep water. The only problem I see is like I was fishing some late fall after the leaves had all fell, and shallow water, leaves light up like fish. You know what I'm saying? The leaves messed me up because I thought I was seeing potential fish, but after I fished a while, I figured out that I was seeing leaves floating and suspended. You know how leaves, they kind of sink under the water, they'll sit there? Yes. And that's what I was seeing, and it picks those leaves up also. So that kind of messed me up for a little while because I was trying to catch some leaves.
Till you reeled one in, then you're like, okey-dokey.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that and shallow, I mean, they see everything, you know. I mean, you gotta learn to cipher between what's fish and what's not fish, because you'd be surprised how a big red oak leaf will light up just like a fish underwater. So, you know, you have to watch for that stuff too. Yeah. But I mean, I like my live scope. It's pretty neat. But like I say, it can hurt you also.
So I'm getting a couple of comments, and I want to double check because I'm not seeing any issue between Jason, your screen, or my screen as far as strength or anything like that, as far as feeds. I've had two comments coming through. I'm assuming it's talking about maybe the speeds or something. So let me know, comment for y'all are having any problems with the internet speeds or anything, because everything looks good from my end. I'm coming through loud. Okay. I'll just make sure from my end. Okay, so Patricia, thank you. All right. Let's talk about, so y'all have never been on Juliet before, correct?
Never seen it, no.
Got a game plan?
No.
Throw a shaky head?
Yeah.
Go fishing. That's all.
We're just going to have fun. We're honored scared to have the opportunity to go, to be honest.
We might try to get down before the tournament just to look at the lake, but we don't know. It's according to how. I mean, we're both pretty busy, so we'll see if we can work. If we get time, we might go down there for a day or two and hang out and try it. So we'll see how it goes. But no, I've never saw the lake.
I don't even know if I want to post this next comment. So back to the live scope. If you had to choose to use live scope or not, what would you do and why? I actually like the question.
I don't.
You don't understand. So basically, he's trying to say, and I may be wrong, Mac, you can tell me if I'm right or not, but if you had a choice to go to the lake of, would you want to use it or would you not? Is there circumstances to where you would not want to use it?
Oh, no, I'd use it. Yeah, definitely.
So it's a use all the above.
Every time I can, yes. Which, I mean, there again, Aaron and I were fishing together the other day, and I told him, I'm like, dude, when we fish this tournament, you're going to have to run the front of the boat because I can't keep my eyes off of the live scope. And I'm in the front of the boat this day, and he's in the back of the boat, and he's catching fish, and I'm looking at live scope, and I'm not catching anything, but I'm seeing fish. So he's doing something totally different. So that's a good example of how live scope will hurt you, because I'm trying to catch fish I can't catch, and he can't see anything, and he's catching fish he can't see. So.
And that's the way we were most of the year. I was in the back of the boat like Aaron, and Jason was I can't get in the, well, I can, but I don't know how to use the live scope as good as Jason and Aaron does. But so I just fish the back of the boat, and I just pray and hope a fish is there. So
I'm kind of extreme ADD, so I'm like watching it, and I'm like, I don't know, squirrel, and I'm over here looking around, and
he's real bad.
So
have you been? And I'm gonna expand on that a little bit. You've had the live scope for a while. Have you been on a boat since putting it on your boat, and you don't have it on the other boat that you're on, and you're feeling like, what in the world do I do now?
No.
Not yet?
Think I have. No, because, I mean, the only time is either like me and her on my boat, or the only other boat I really am on a lot would be with Aaron, and he has it. Now, I do know that it seems like when you're fishing with partners, it's hard. It ain't hard, but it's hard for both of you to fish for those fish that you see on live scope, because it seems like it's a lot easier if you let. I'm not going to say that always, because if there's a giant school out there and they're biting, then everybody, both of you need to be chunking. But if they're not, then if they're finicky fish, it seems like it's better if you just let one person fish for that fish. If you go to the back of the boat and do your thing, and you might catch some other fish. So, and that's the same way when her and I, when we caught the 21 pounds at Bear Creek, I was on live scope, and I was fishing at targets. I was targeting certain areas and certain structures, and she was just, I don't know, just throwing her shaky head out in the lake.
I had
and then I couldn't catch anything. And she threw a wacky worm out in the middle of the lake, a weightless wacky worm out in the middle of the lake. And caught a 4-pounder. I thought, who does that? I don't know. Who does that?
I just had a really good day that day, I think.
And you never seen it on live scope, did you? Missed it.
No.
No, heck no, I didn't see anything she caught on live. I mean, she threw out there, throwed her shaky head out here in the middle of the lake, and I don't know. She's like, "Oh, I got one. This is like a 6 pounds, six something pounds." I'm like, "I don't know. Dude, it's your day. It's your day. I don't know." You know?
So this comment Patricia Payton's put on here, same with the Garmin. You'll leave the lake and have no idea what it looked like. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And your neck will be hurting because you stare at it all day.
you know, I don't have Panoptics, but I mean, I've been spending the past couple of days on the water, and I'm literally spooning fish right now, and I'm literally all day looking down. So I can only imagine, like last night and today, even I have just, when you tilt your head up, you're like, oh my gosh, that feels so good just to tilt it up.
Yeah.
So kind of pause for a moment. Again, if anybody's got any comments, we'll kind of go ahead and get to a conclusion on the show. Again, just to remind everybody, Underground Power will be providing one lithium battery, 12 volt, 50 amp. We're giving it away. All you have to do is get over to our YouTube channel, Georgia Bass-TEC YouTube channel. After the show tonight, leave a comment. Either say Underground Power in the comments or UP, either one. However you want to do it, Underground Power. And the closing of it is going to be Friday. And we're going to do that for every single show. And we'll allow it every single show you get entered into it. So make sure, keep coming back, get your names entered in multiple times. So you get one time per show, leave us a comment. So again, nobody has any questions. I'm really looking forward to getting down there at Juliet with y'all, and maybe we'll be around close area proximity, and maybe we can go out to eat or something the night before or whatever, get a group of us all up together. And I know my wife and kids and everybody else, I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but Donnie Boone's wife and I think couple of other wives as well, and anybody's more than glad to come. I think they're all going to Whistle Stop Cafe to eat for lunch and shop around there during the day. So Josh has said, very proud of you guys, especially you, Brandi. You're a tough gal. Congratulations to you both on a great, memorable season. Thanks for representing us at Outcast.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment, Josh. I appreciate that. I try to be tough. Sometimes I'm not.
Where's Juliet?
So Juliet, Ron, is if you're heading down 75 to Forsyth, it's in between Forsyth and Macon. It's actually right there at Forsyth. You can get off at the Forsyth exit and head east. And I do not remember the highway or anything like that, what it is, what number or road names or anything like that, but it's literally right beside Juliet, Georgia, right off the river. So that's, what is it, the Oconee River? Well, I can't remember which river it is, but that's
I have no idea.
Yeah. It's a Georgia Power Lake, Ron. So I don't want to taking Terry anymore on this. So I appreciate y'all taking time and sitting down with us tonight, and appreciate our viewers that's got on here, as well as to our sponsors. And also we'll take in got items we're going to be giving away. All you got to do is take and like, comment. We'll take and do a random drawing for some package items to give away as well. So appreciate Mr. and Mrs. Brown, y'all taking some time, and I'll be looking for them Macatak ads to come out soon with the name on them soon. Maybe we can get signature. Maybe we can get some packs to give away at the TEC. How about that?
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yep, there he's already said it. Better stock up on them shaky heads. Yep.
We will.
Yes.
All righty. Well, I appreciate it. Y'all take care, and God bless, and everybody have a good night, and I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas.
You as well. Thank you so much. Hope you and your family have a blessed Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. So thank you.
Thanks for watching.